All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining and thanks for taking your time to be with us this evening. I'm going to be introducing myself shortly, tell you more about the company, and um, later on call on the facilitator to shed more light into the reason why we're here, and probably call some ex-student to give their testimony later on as well. Then we open the line for questions and answer. So please, for the duration before we open the line for question and answer, if we can remain muted, please. I'll really appreciate that. All right, so let me start by introducing myself. My name is Akin Oladeji, and I happen to be the founder of Learn with Pride. And Learn with Pride has been going strong for the last 4 years. And what we do is we help people that wants to transition from non-IT or non-technical background into the IT space. So it doesn't matter what you've been doing for 10 years, it doesn't matter what you study at the uni, it doesn't matter at all, because we are here to take you on a journey. We are here to take you from the very scratch to the level that you are comfortable with. So we run different trainings in IT, ranging from project management to business analysis to Scrum Master, product owner, data analysis, DevOps engineer, manual testing, software automation testing, IT support, and SAP analyst. So we run like 7 or 8 different IT trainings. And what we do is we don't focus on the theoretical part. We don't focus on you like you want to go and sit for a professional examination. No, we prepare you, in take for example, we are here because of Scrum today. So we prepare you like, a life in the day of a Scrum Master. If you should get a job tomorrow, how are you going to survive on that job? So we focus on practical training. We focus on hands-on job training. So all our trainings, we go through practical training. After the practical training, also you have the opportunity to work on a live project. Working on a live project is just to expose you more, to get your hands dirty, to practicalize the what you've learned during the training. And when I say live project, I mean live project. You won't be working on a capstone project. So you'll be working with a full Scrum team, where you have the Scrum Master, the product owner, the business analyst, the developer, the tester, and you'll be working as a team to deliver a solution for a client. So we are here today because of Scrum Master Product Owner. It's a Scrum Master role, but most of my courses, I ensure that, it's like a double combo, like you are getting 2 trainings for the price of one. What do I mean? Um, you'll be trained as a Scrum Master. Also, you'll be trained as a product owner, even a bit about a business analyst role. The reason for this is by the time you start applying for a job, you are not restricting yourself to just a Scrum Master role. You can apply for a product owner role, even a BA role. The most important is to get your feet at the door. When you are in, you can transition to any area that you want to transition into. So this is why I ensure that my training gives more opportunities when you start applying for jobs. So um as I said, it doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter whether you read Greek in school or you read English in school or you've been working as a security for the last 10 years. It doesn't matter. All that we require from you is your determination and your hunger for change. As long as you can have those 2 things, will take you on the journey. And by the time you are done with the program, you'll be able to compete with those who has been doing it in the industry for 2, 3 years. That's the position we want you to be by the time you finish. Also, since post-COVID, IT jobs has been buzzing. Why? Because there's now room for a remote job. It doesn't matter your country, whether you live in Zimbabwe, you live in Ghana, you live in Nigeria, you can secure a remote job with a foreign company. You might be you can be living in Nigeria and you can get a remote job with a company in the UK. You can be living in Ghana and secure a remote job with a company in Australia, because now companies now realize that you don't need to physically be present at the office for you to deliver your work. You might be working with diverse team, as in your developer might be in Ghana, might be in India, your product owner might be in Finland, the tester might be, in the UK. So, and all of you are coming together to work as a team to deliver a solution. So this is the best time, when you are considering a career move, when you are considering a career change, this is the best time to take advantage of the opportunity. And as I said, you belong, it's not, the program is for 3 months. After 3 months, you still belong to a family, because what we build here is a family. Aside the business, aside you paying for the program and all of that, you belong to a group, an alumni group that consists of people who has been working and those who are still searching. And you need these people at your corner just in case you get a job and you need clarification with one thing or the other. You have people to go to. And also, we try to build a family. 5 months down the line, you call me, I won't say I don't know you again because your contract has ended with me. No, we don't do that, because we we fight the battle together. That is what we are here for. So quickly, I've got few slides to go through. After my slides, I'm going to be inviting the facilitator that will shed more light into the life of a Scrum Master and what it entails. So without further ado, let me quickly go through my slide. I'm going to rush through the slide. All those ones, the facilitator will talk more about it. So why Scrum Master or why Product Owner? I'm going to be using UK as a point of reference because that is where I live. But it doesn't matter whether UK, Nigeria, the salary is fantastic wherever you get a Scrum Master role. All right. So in the UK, if you are considering a permanent role, you'll be looking around 56,000 bracket. And if you are considering a contract role, you'll be looking at £400 a day. If you get a contract role, even if it's a 3-month contract and you are getting £400 a day, that is £8,000 a month. 8,000 times 3, that is a lot of money that you get in 3 months. Some people don't get that in a year, because even in the UK, the average salary is between 18,000 and 35,000. The majority, 75%, gets. So you, after a 3-month training, you are able to secure a role outside that bracket from 40, 45, 50, or even if you are lucky, you get a contract role. That is the position we want you to be. And it's not a new thing. With hard work, it is possible, because we've seen the testimony, we've seen people getting jobs. So we know that when people commit their time, their energy, their sweat into the process, and they do what we ask them to do, then I can tell you the sky is just the beginning. So that is it in the UK. The average salary is around 56,000. And for contract is around £400. Also, you can work remotely from any part of the world. As I said earlier on, anywhere, whether you live in Nigeria, we have so many job sites that are looking for freelancers. They are not even looking for permanent staff. They are looking for freelancer people to just come on board, set things straight, probably for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, and you get good money and you are done. The money you get in 4 months, it's more than enough for you if you want to look for a permanent, as in for a whole year. That is the joy of it. And also it gives you work-life balance. If you work remotely, you can take your children to school. You can do pickups, you can do school runs, you can quickly, as long as you're not having meetings, you can quickly go and fix something and come back. And that is the freedom you have while working remotely. Unlike, if you go to work 9 to 5 and you have to do something probably urgently, there's no way you can do that thing urgently until you finish work. So this is a very right time for a transitioning. And You are the right place at the right time. Why did I say that? Because we will take you on the journey, because I understand what it takes to take someone from point A to point B. And the reason being that I transitioned myself. My background was in accounting. I've even got masters in accounting, but I was bored with accounting. I wanted a change badly, and I was looking for what to do. I did so many certification, professional certification, thinking that would give me a breakthrough, but I was only deceiving myself, because certification doesn't cut it. It's your experience, your knowledge, your know-how that is needed. Certification comes second. The primary thing that you should be looking for is the practical training. I did all the certification. I wasn't getting the job until I attended like a master program that takes me through, the practical training, getting hands dirty and all of that. But to cut the whole story short, someone with no technical background, and what I transitioned into as a software automation engineer, whereby you write codes in programming language like C# to automate a website. This is someone coming from debit and credit, balance sheet. That was all I know. Now doing a technical role, that is what you can achieve, with determination, with dedication. I never knew I could do it. I didn't study anything technical. I didn't study computer science in school. I only did a 3-month training. But because I was determined, because I was tired of what I was doing, I needed a change badly. So I wanted it to work. I don't even have time to study or to go over what we study at probably the daytime. I sacrificed my sleep, to study. And when you are making a sacrifice is just for a period of time to achieve that thing that you want to achieve. And after that, everything goes back to normal. So it is possible for anyone on this call today, regardless of your background, regardless of what you've been doing, as long as you have that determination, as long as you are hunger for that change, you wanted to change your job badly, you can do it. I'm telling you from experience as well. And also is in high demand. Most organizations are now going into agile framework requiring them to have a Scrum Master. And that is why the need for a Scrum Master product owner is very, very high at the moment. I know people doing 2 jobs, 3 jobs together. Why are they doing 2 jobs, 3 jobs together? It's because there's nobody to take that job. That is why they are able to take 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and do it at the same time. That is why you need to go out there and get all these jobs so that there can be there can be balance in the equation. So the job is out there, please. Moving on. If you are to come on board, if you are to enroll with us, what is going to be the roadmap? So the program is for 3 months, but the practical training is for 4 weeks. The practical training will run twice a week for 4 weeks. Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and Sundays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. at night for 4 weeks. Then after the practical training, then you'll be put on a project for another 2 months. And when I say project, I'm talking about real life projects, whereby you have developer in your team, a Scrum Master, product owner, business analyst, tester, and all of you will be working together to deliver a solution for your client. So that is the nature, that is what you are going to get. But why still on this? All our courses are CPD registered. What do I mean? All our trainings meet the professional standard, and the certificate that we give you at the end of the program is recognized in over 60 countries. Let me quickly show you the body so that if you want to do your due diligence, you can do your due diligence. So this is the body. They are called CPD standards. You can check them out and see all the benefits that is attached to the certificate that you're going to be getting from us. I'm going to paste this link in the chat. In your own free time, you can just browse them, go through them. You are going to see us on there as well. As you can see, this is us on there, but you can browse other things, benefits, and all of that in your spare time for you to see, what other things you can benefit having the certificate that we are going to be giving you at the end of the day. All right. So that being said, you've gone through the training, you've gone through the practical and the project as well. Now you can act as a Scrum Master. But if this stage is missing, which is optimization of your brand, then it will just be like the first stage and the second stage that you've gone through is just a waste of time because nobody will see you if your brand is not optimized. And what do I mean by your brand? I'm talking about your CV. I'm talking about your online presence. I'm talking about your LinkedIn profile. You have to be visible on all these platforms. If you are abroad, like probably Nigeria, Ghana, Zimbabwe, and you are looking for international jobs, you need to optimize, you need to revamp your CV to international standard for you to stand a chance of competing and securing a job. Also, if you are not on LinkedIn, you need to create a profile on LinkedIn because LinkedIn has now become the professional marketplace where recruiters go to now, to search for people. So you cannot overemphasize this stage. It is very, very important. It is as important as the stage 1 and stage 2, which is the training and the project. So when this stage is done right, then you can be rest assured that you start getting calls. You start getting calls from the recruiters because now you are visible. Now they can see you. If they search for you, if they go on LinkedIn and search for key skills, you come out, they can see you. Oh, this guy has got what we are looking for. Let's reach out. You get the calls. Oh, we saw your CV or we saw your profile on LinkedIn. Are you still available? Are you still looking for a job? Same thing as your CV. They will be working for you. Those two things will be the one to knock at the door for you first before they even see you. So it is very, very important. So when that stage is done right, you start getting calls, applying for jobs manually as well. Even if you don't apply for jobs manually, because you are now visible in the market, people can see you, recruiters can see you, employers can see you, and they can start reaching out to you. And by the time you start applying for a job, you start getting interviews. And this is another stage that we help with as well. Quickly, while on this step, let me quickly tell you what is entailed in the package. So if you enroll, what are the things you'll be getting as part of the training? So as I made mention earlier on, you'll be getting the practical training, you'll be working on a live project, you get the mentorship, you get a support, you get interview preparation, you get the CPD accredited certificate, and also we give you a work reference for the duration that you are with us because you'll be working for us, right? So surely we'll give you a reference, a work reference that you can put on your CV while applying for a job. And when the time comes for giving you that reference, we'll be more than happy to give you that reference for the job that you've applied for. So those are the things that comes with the package that if you should enroll, that you're going to get from us. So by the time you start applying for jobs and you are getting interviews, because we want you to ace the interview, we want you to go in there with confidence. We'll be having, we'll be doing the interview prep with you, so that by the time you attend that interview, you are attending with confidence. Also, another key thing to mention is, you don't need to lie on your CV, because everything you are going to go through everything from start to finish, both the practicals, the tools that you have to put on there, and the experience itself. So there's no need for you to lie on your CV. When you are putting tools there, those will be the tools that you've used on the training. When you are putting the experience, those are the things you put on the on your CV as well. So there's no need to lie on your CV. All right, so quickly, let me go through the company start. So from 2020 till date, we've over 20,000 students has enrolled from us, as in that's a lot from 2020 till date. That is a lot. So let's break it down now. You can see the different courses that we offer: business analysis, Scrum Master, and this start is from the enrollment from January till date. So January till date for Scrum Master, because that's the area of concentration for today. For Scrum Master, Product Owner, over 1,000 has enrolled from January till date. And that is, I can tell you, that is a lot as well. So out of, 85% of our students, are currently working. The 50% are working in the public sector, while 35% are in the private sector, and 15% are still, they are job ready. They are still searching for job. And I'm sure very soon they will be able to testify to that as well. So before I hand over to Yemi, who will take you through, these are just the sample jobs I took online. The first one is paying between 85,000 to 90,000 pounds. And I tell you, the money might be huge, and thinking that, oh, will I be able to do this? I can tell you, by the end of the program, if you do what we ask you to do, yes, you'll be able to apply for such roles. And that is the product owner role. The one on the right is paying between 60 and 75,000. That is another product owner role as well. So, you can see it's not only Scrum Master paying huge amount. This one is a Scrum Master paying 70 to 75,000. And the other one is paying between 50 and 60,000. All right. So if you want to enroll between today and the next 1 week, because we've only got 10 slots available for this, 10 more slots available. So if you want to enroll, there's a 20% discount that we are giving away from today for the next 1 week. If you want to come on board, that is the actual cost is actually $499. So take away the 20%, you only pay $399. And the good thing is you don't even pay the $399 at once. Only half payment is required to start. So for you to come on the journey, it's only half payment, half of that £400 that is required to start. And the other half can be paid within 4 to 5 weeks. But everything needs to be paid before you start or before you go on the live project. So that is in pounds. In Naira, that will be 400,000 Naira. After discount, that will be 360,000. Then half of that 360,000 is required to start, while the other half it's payable within 4 to 5 weeks as well. So if you want to enroll, the enrollment is open. You can reach out to me on this WhatsApp number, or for any questions after this call. If you have anything you want to ask me, you can get me on that WhatsApp number. And also if you want to enroll as well, you can just message me on that WhatsApp number and we can get that sorted. So I'm going to be stopping for now, and I'm going to be inviting Yemi, who is going to be the facilitator, if you should come on board, that will take you on the journey. He's got many years of experience in this industry. Paul, yes, we are in the UK. He's got many years of experience, and he's going to tell you more about, a Scrum Master, a product owner, what it entails. What do you need? Your background? Do you have to come from a technical background before you can transition into this career? He's going to shed more light into the journey. So, without further ado, I'm going to be on stop sharing, and Yemi, you can take it away. Thanks.
All right, thank you so much, Aki, for that. Good evening, everyone. I want to believe you guys can hear me, and I'm
yes,
clear.
we can hear you.
Oh, great. So I'm going to be sharing my screen shortly. All right, so you're welcome. Glad that you're here. It's good to welcome everyone. And thank you so much, Akin, for that step down and that breakdown. For some people, it might sound like maybe like a serious marketing strategy. But because I've been with the team for a while now, and I can totally understand how you've been able to, or how Learn Reply have been able to put a great package for people. I think it's because you've been in that case of wanting to transition and enjoy that good life in the tech, which worked. Okay, just to move forward, uh, my name is Yemi, right? My name is Yemi, advanced Scrum Master. I'm a product manager, I'm an agile coach, strategy business consultant. It's easier for me to break this down because everything is all connected, right? And fortunately, I've been able to work in fintech and bank, a consulting firm in the UK, Union Bank, to switch, Wakana. So tech has allowed me to be able to move from one industry to the other just because of what I do, what I can do, and it's been an amazing journey so far. Also, like everyone, or for some people that are just new to tech, this was me, I think, probably years ago before COVID, while I'm into agile and understand. I happen to be the youngest in this picture. Maybe aside from the lady on wine, I think so. Uh, every other person, they're like CEOs, senior managers, because they needed them to learn what it takes to work in an agile environment. Be a Scrum Master, help us manage our product. So I was fortunate. I like to say that all the time. And since then, it's been amazing. It's been an amazing journey from one thing to the other. And LinkedIn has also been helpful. That's why I like to quickly show this to you guys. And since I've been on LinkedIn, it's been real life experience, real life example. People reach out to me just in my DM and say, "Oh, we have this role, we have this opening. Are you interested? Would you want to do?" And I didn't even have to lie or whatever. Just as Akin mentioned, it's just what I do and how I'm able to get advantage of being in that environment. Okay, so I want to say congratulations to you in advance for just being here and for wanting to even take part in this. And the world of tech is always expanding. A lot of things are happening. People are still needed to, come into this space and take advantage. That is why you see people, they can do 2 roles, 3 roles. It's because there are so many openings that are still coming up and they need people to take up the role, right? Just to quickly move forward, I know some of us might have Googled what about something about Scrum Master or where Scrum Master is, or maybe if you never heard of it before, or maybe a Learn Reply just popped up on your social media and you just say, "Let me sign up, let me see what this all about." Okay, so a Scrum Master, Scrum is a framework. Now, the master there is saying someone that understands the framework. And that Scrum itself is what is used to build software, products in a very faster and better way, not like the normal way of people doing things. So when you get into an environment mostly in tech, so I'm going to be the focus mostly will be in tech, right? It does not matter where you're coming from, does not matter where you're working or whatever. You don't even have to know how to write code. It is not a requirement. You don't even know how will I put it now? Yeah, basically, you just have to be someone who understands the framework and can deal with people. So Scrum Master, they call us a tech in non-tech. Sorry, non-tech in tech, meaning non-tech in tech, meaning you don't have to write code, but just come. So they say you have opportunity to work in different environment. So number one, we look at the Scrum Master role, the Scrum Master responsibility, and Scrum Master stances, just to give us an idea of who Scrum Master is. There's someone called a facilitator. Maybe um, you will know how to facilitate meetings, events, activities where you can really pick out action points and use those action points and transform it into something meaningful. It's not like where you just go for meetings at the end of the day, nothing meaningful. They say someone should write minutes and all of that. But you, Scrum Master, you're looking at action points and value. Help build self-organizing team. if you're going to be a Scrum Master, you're going to be working with developers, product owner, product managers, right? And you want to help them to organize how to build work better and faster, right? You can even picture it in your environment that you're currently working. Maybe the way they are working is not even really making much of a sense or not making people move forward. But having that mentality that you want to organize teams, or you are this type of person that you just want to see changes. You want to see changes the way people work in the environment. You want to change process. You're just tired and bored with the way people are doing things. Meaning there's a capability that you can be a scrum master comfortably and effectively, right? So this number three, it said remove impediments and escalate when needed. So Scrum Master, the challenges some organizations have is they don't know if their workers or their team developers have issues or problem. They don't know how to escalate or when to escalate. They just escalate and it's been just life follow and the issues are there. But a Scrum Master would ensure that an issue escalation have been resolved promptly. You see that you're very important already, right? Help the team inspect and adapt. You want there to be transparency. In some organizations, the work they do is not transparent enough. People are confused on what to do. But you are there to give, show transparency, allow them to be able to inspect their work, adapt to changes. You're a change maker. Empower the team through servant leadership. This servant leadership does not mean slavery, right? It means that you are a leader and you want to lead by an example, by serving others. You're going to be helping your team to be better. You're going to teach them how to be a better person and all of those things. Another role, protect the team from disturbances. Maybe you don't have where you work, or maybe let's say you're in a tech environment and all of the time they are losing focus on what they need to do. But as a scrum master, you got to go in there and help them and say, guys, I'm going to teach you the difference between time management and focus management. Now, scrum master, we understand time, but put a lot of energy into focus, but because focus will help us to deal and resolve disturbances. Tell me why you can see why organizations are really looking for scrum master because of what they do. Okay, let's look at the responsibilities again. I know some of us we might be hearing the word product owner for the first time, but at least we'd have heard of product manager. Okay. So as a scrum master, you're responsible for a product owner, the development team, and the organization. So you're not going in, scrum masters they are not low level, if you get what I mean. You're a leader because the organization will be looking up to you for solutions, for change, what they need to do. Your development team are going to be looking up to you for how to work better, to using the Scrum values, use the Scrum framework. Product owner also will be looking up to you. That is to show how important that role is and how it is highly needed. Okay. The product owner, you're going to be mentoring and supporting all responsibilities, right? Scrum Master with the development team, you need to teach them self-organization. Also, if you look at all of these things, they are just English words that you can relate with. But then it might appear simple. Now, why it gets challenging is because there are people, different personality, people with different perspective, people with different mindset, people with different limited beliefs. So they expect that as a Scrum Master, you have a growth mindset, you have an agile mindset. You can coach these guys, the development team, even the organization as a whole. You can coach them on how to work better, what the things to do in accordance to maybe the Scrum value, the Scrum framework, and all of those things. Okay, I don't want to waste much time on that, but just to give you guys how important the role is and how lucrative it can be. So let's look at the 8 stances. Stance is more like a stand or a word or a feat or form you can take as a person. So Scrum Master, you're like, so here they're telling us you can be 8 persons in one. You can be a servant leader. You're leading by an example. You're showing them how to do things right. When they say the meeting starts by 8, you are there by 8. When they say something is for 15 minutes, you're allowing them to focus for 15 minutes to be done. Then you're a coach. You have an opportunity to learn to be a coach. Right now, we have a lot of people that because me, I enjoy being a coach. I started being a life coach, a mental health coach. Now I'm an agile coach, which makes it comfortable or easier for me. So as a scrum master, you also are a coach. Okay. Facilitator. The facilitator bit is in every meetings, because in the scrum framework, they have their meetings or ceremonies or events, some will call it. You facilitate them right. You know those meetings you go to maybe at work or anywhere and they are there for 5 hours. And at the end of 5 hours, maybe anything they were able to achieve just one or two. Now, Agile is saying there are ways to break down these meetings and make it more valuable and more sensible. So imagine you just going to an environment and all you have to do is just help them change the way they do their meetings. You automatically just will look like a champion, like, wow. So we never knew these things can happen like this. And people just get surprised when you do um, interesting things. Then you're a teacher, you're a mentor, you're a manager. So this manager here, they're not referring to a manager, maybe a manager sits in an office or a manager managing a team, but you're helping them to manage their, if are they overwhelmed? I hope they're not stressed. I hope everything is going. So you're doing like more of like an health check. That's what the manager is talking about here. Also, impediments removal. A lot of time in many organizations, issues are left unattended to 60% of the time, for me not to exaggerate, right? But the Scrum Master would not let that issue go unattended to. It must be resolved. It must be an improvement, right? So you will be the go-to person. It's not like you're going to be like a champion. So not to make yourself think like that, but indirectly you're somewhat like that, but you are not that everybody's the champion. But you're a go-to person. You also change agents. You're going to be making changes. They're going to be asking you question. What should we do about this? How do you think we should go about this? We need this person. So, like I mentioned, it's a very interesting role. You'll be a people person. You know how to deal with people, mostly understanding the framework. And you'll be surprised. I'm sure you'll be surprised when Akin was saying how much you can get to earn. Like me, currently, I work remotely. I don't know if I can go to work in the office, right? I work remotely. Once a time, I join on my laptop. I do other things. I'm available and I am getting paid comfortably. Thank God. Okay, that's just an overview of Scrum, where Scrum Master is. What about we product owner? Okay, you know, as a simple English, product is something that can be used to solve a problem, right? Your laptop is a product. It's helping you um, do whatever you want to do. Now they're saying we want someone to be a product owner. So a product owner was created for the purpose of an agile environment. Then they call them a Scrum team. If you look at this circle, they say Scrum team. So there's a product owner, a Scrum master, and a development team. So that's why I love this training, because it gives you an opportunity to know what is happening in the life of a Scrum master and a product owner. I hope I'm audible, just to be sure. Say
Yes, sure.
audible. Okay, great. So it gives you an idea of what you can see or how you can even, so meaning if there's an opening, they say they're looking for a product owner, you can comfortably have a CV and apply. Oh, they're looking for a scrum master. You can comfortably just apply because you know what is going to be, this training will allow you to know what is happening in both worlds. And we already have people that we've trained and they're working on projects. I think yesterday I was on a call with one of our a group of our trainees who were working on projects, and I was super impressed with their progress, how they are comfortably using Jira, Confluence, speaking the lingua. And I said, you know what, you guys, you're good to go. No one would ever know. If you tell them you've been a Scrum Master product owner for 6 years, they will literally just believe you, right? Because we have people that have gone to write the certificates and gotten the certification, and they come back and still get trained, because doing an exam will never qualify you to be able to do the job, because it is a job that will expose you based on your capacity or your experience. So you even say, oh, is it not just to deal with people? Right from an interview, the person interview will literally know that, oh, this one just did the exam. Sorry, you can't do this work. So we have people that still come back and still get trained, right? So product owner, you're speaking with stakeholders, you're speaking with customers and the user, you know a bit of documentation, how to do product prioritization, you will know how to write user stories, you know how to write acceptance criteria, how to manage your product backlog. You understand all of this lingua, right? And it does not entail you writing any code. It will just require you to participate fully, get engaged, and just enjoy yourself, and you'll be surprised with how improved you're going to get. Okay. So let me quickly move to the next slide, right? Because I'm time conscious, but at least to let you have an idea of everything. So people do ask this question: what's the relationship between product owner and Scrum Master? What's actually the difference? And I like this breakdown because it gives quite a detailed explanation to it. So product owner, you're going to be looking at three main things: the vision, the product, and collaboration. Now at the vision stage, see it as maybe when you have an idea of a product, maybe you have a business idea, even think it as a person, you have a business idea you want to do. This person can ask you that, oh, what is the vision of your idea? Maybe your idea is you want to be, you want to have a website for to sell your stuff online. You want to be, stuff like that. Then your vision will be maybe you want to be the number one e-commerce, just like Jumia or any of these sites that sell stuff online. That will be your vision. They can now start asking you, what are the steps you need to take to achieve this vision? That's it. That's me doing the product owner bits now. I'm communicating the vision, the strategy. I'm going to be asking for the business goals because all of these will now form our documents, right? So after having all these documents, then I will have features, all the things we'll see. A good example is if you look at what is happening, Twitter and Thread, right? Um, Mark saw an opportunity and he listened to what the customers are complaining about, and they created Thread, and people are leaving Twitter to Thread. Who knows what will happen next? So now they have a vision, and now Twitter has a competitor. Okay. So now all of this feedback will now go to something called the product backlog, where the product owner will maintain. I'm on that product now. Will maintain on this product backlog. It will include all the items that they need to build a product. From there, they do prioritization. From there, they collect feedback. Now, collaboration, because you need to keep collaborating with the tech team, with the customer, with other stakeholders to be sure that what we've built makes sense. Look at Trade now. All the customer experience, the customer support, all of them will be listening and be collecting feedback. Oh, is that maybe they have a complaint about a button, they have a complaint about something. All of these complaints will go to the product team. They will prioritize it and go and work on it. Before you know it, they'll tell you, we have a new release for you on Thread. You click on release, it updates. All of these things are a bit of product owner, product manager, involvement of the business analyst, business team doing all of that, which is very interesting. Okay. Then look at the Scrum Master. I already mentioned that earlier. They have responsibilities to the product owner, to the development team, and the organization. So with the team that's going to do the work, you want to make sure that they are collaborating well, they are working in a conducive environment, they don't have disturbance, you are removing any blocker, any delay so that they can work effectively. For the organization, you are helping them, you're training them in the agile way of working, you are training them on removing conflicts, you are preparing them for any form of change and all of that. For the product owner, you are also coaching the product owner on how to write user story, how to use the tool, how to understand customer requirements, and all of those things. I always say that a Scrum Master can comfortably be a product owner, but a product owner might not be able to do the full role of a Scrum Master. Okay. So that's sort of the relationship and maybe a bit of a difference. Okay. Forward. If you're going to be this session, or should I say our training, we have about 13 topics, which is good, which is broken down into about 53 subtopics. Okay. You're going to be looking at the history of Agile, introduction to Scrum, roles and organization is Scrum, then the Scrum events. Okay. I'm only looking at the topics. They all have subtopics. And every bit of this topic, like I always tell maybe mentees, trainees, that they are all connected. They are all going to be used, needed anywhere at any point. So you can't say because you've heard about introduction, you might not need it in the end. In fact, your introduction or anything, you'll still be used at every point in learning. Okay. And you're going to be looking at product documentation, product prioritization, how to write a professional user story using invest criteria, also acceptance criteria. Then you're going to learn how to use Jira. You're going to learn how to use Confluence and Miro. To me, Miro is more like an extra gift I teach to trainees for collaboration purpose. Okay, so that is a bit about everything. So thank you. I think I'm able to cover this in a short time, but I hope you get the point and why this is going to be so super important and useful. Thank you, guys. Yeah, over to you, Akin. Any question?
Yeah, thanks, Yemi. Really appreciate that. Please, if you have questions, you can start raising your hand on the chat, and I'll be calling you shortly. So just raise your hand on the chat, and I'll be calling you, or as well, you can drop your questions on the chat. Is it that you raise your hand? But I want you to raise your hand, though. I want to hear from you. We are here to learn together. So why not raise your hand? But before that, before I start calling people who have questions, I've got couple of my ex-students on the call. But again, before that, I haven't mentioned the start date for this or for the next cohort will be on the 22nd of this month. So it will be starting on the 22nd of this month. All right. So quickly, let me just call a couple of people, just to share their experience, and probably it will encourage one or two people on the call. You never know, So without further ado, Mr. Nobi, you can unmute and talk, please.
Good evening, guys. So my name is Boale. Good evening. My name is Boale. Currently work as a Scrum Master. And that was possible because I took the same course that you guys are about to take with Learn with Pride. I previously worked as a care support worker here in UK with a salary of around roughly 32,000 a year. And I think we all know that in the current condition, that's not really a lot of money. So I've always wanted to get into tech, and I started doing my research, started asking around, and somebody recommended Learn with Pride. So I registered for the course, and I must say, the course content and the level of support that I received was really, really impressive. Fast forward to the end of the course, after taking the course, it took me around roughly 3 months before I landed my first role. Again, Learn with Pride was there for me to support throughout that period. They helped with my CV, and then I was also coached on how to respond to interview questions. So fast forward to now, I've been in the industry for, I'll say roughly coming to maybe 2 years now. And I currently, my current role is a contract role, and it's 90% remote, and with the daily rate of around 550 a day. So I just wanted to tell you guys that you're definitely in the right place, and as long as you put in the work, you definitely get something out of it. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks for that. I really appreciate. Because of our time, let me call on the second person quickly. Teju, you can unmute and talk, please.
All right, thank you, Mr. King. So good evening, everyone. Okay, so I am actually a Scrum Master, though working as a contract staff, but I joined the League of Tech Gurus. That was last 2 years. Um, after I had my training with them with Pride. Although I was a data marketer earlier, my time after schooling, which I've actually acquired so much knowledge when it comes to the data space. But I felt I was in the real tech without knowing there's a lot to learn. So I engaged myself in Udemy and so but I wasn't really getting the practical aspects of it in terms of using the core tools and the like. So but I actually stumbled with this data section, which Lemon Fire actually took me to the journey. And after then, kept applying for roles and the likes, specifically in UK, which I was lucky enough to secure a contract role. And at least I've worked with about 2 to 3 different companies based on contracts. And I'm here in Nigeria. So I believe this is a journey to start and it's actually worth it at long run because it's a very nice one to decide on and to have. So thank you everyone.
Yeah, thanks, Adekunle. Quickly, Yemi, I think this is for you on the chat. What is the difference between product owner and project manager?
Oh, okay. I didn't know message. I didn't get to see that. Um, so now I'm going to be careful with the way I answer this question because different environments have been, using this role in a very different way. Now, a product manager is more of high level, strategically involved in the development of a product. And a product owner is tactically involved. Strategically involved means they're going to be doing the vision, handling the roadmap, working with the business team to build the business requirement documents, right? But the product owner mostly would have to maybe get involved in the building of the product requirement documents in collaboration with the product manager. He or she will manage the product backlog, right? And work really close with the development team. That is why the product owner is part of the Scrum team. Now, you might see in some environment now, maybe startups, they'll just tell you they want a product owner and they don't have a product manager. So they're expecting you to do everything, the vision, the roadmap, manage the backlog, work with the team. So in a bigger environment, you might see them splitting it. We have a manager separate, product owner separate, and they manage the way they do all these activities. Okay. But for a product owner, know that you're part of the Scrum team, you're going to be managing the product backlog, you're going to be doing some prioritization, you're going to be writing user stories, writing acceptance criteria. In some organization, they don't do all of that. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Yemi. Please, you can raise your hand. There's a button to raise your hand, and I'll be calling you. I really want to hear, I just don't want to be the only one talking, We are here to learn to rub minds together. So please, raise your hand and ask any question you want to ask. All right, from the chat again, business analysis and Scrum Master, which is more in demand? They are all IT courses and they are all in demand. And the benefit of this training is, at the end of it, because you'll be exposed to, as I said, you'll be exposed to PO and you'll be exposed to a BA as well. Because in an agile settings, if there's no product owner in the team, that means the business analyst will take on the responsibility. Also, vice versa. If there's no BA, the PO will take on the responsibility. That is why you'll be exposed to it. So even going through the training alone, either this business analysis or Scrum Master, all of these things can be put on your CV because you'll be able to perform those roles at the end of the program. So you are giving yourself more chances, opportunities of securing a role, either as a Scrum Master, as a business analyst, or as a product owner. So whichever one you get first, you'll still be well paid. Whether it's a business analyst, this is to Jacob, whether it's a business analyst or it's a Scrum Master, at least you'll be getting way beyond the minimum wage. Like the UK, for example, I said earlier on the average salary is between 18,000 and 35,000. You surely get more than that, you know? You surely get more, way more than that. And, so it doesn't matter which one you get first. All of them are in demand. And, you just have to choose which one you really want to settle with. From Adedeji, I feel it's interwoven, and having both gives you a greater edge. Exactly, yes. Most roles, in Agile might be like that, especially PO and BA. Those two roles are really interwoven. And again, you'll be exposed to all as long as you do what we ask you to do. The trainings might be twice a week, but your journey cannot be restricted to twice a week. If you really want to compete with people who have been doing it in the industry for 2-3 years after the program, your journey needs to be an everyday journey. You need to go above and beyond what has been covered in class. You need to go on Google, you need to go on YouTube, you need to read more. By reading more, you are learning more. By learning more, you are asking more questions because, probably you just went on YouTube, you watched something and you are not clear. The next class, you are just bombarding your facilitators with questions. Why? Because you've made your research. That is how learning takes place. So as long as you do what we ask you to do, as long as you don't restrict your learning to twice a week, you'll be surprised where you find yourself at the end of the 3 months program. So Adedeji, I think I've answered that. Being Bola, you raised your hand. You can unmute and ask your question.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
My question is, I'm so sorry for the background thing. Yeah, my question is this. I want to ask the guys who done the training, how confident were they to start on a role? Then the other thing, I see most of the job adverts for a Scrum Master, they probably is asking for 3 to 5 years experience. And if you just do one project, and of course you do a lot of self-study, are you honestly practically able to deliver like a Scrum Master who's been in the industry for 5 years?
All right. Do you want me to first answer, or you want the guys on the call to first answer before I take it from there? But Wale, are you still on the call?
Yes, I am.
Yes. Do you want to take that one? How confident you are when you get your first through or something like that? If you want to answer that.
Like Mr. Aki said, if you put in the work, I mean, outside your weekly lessons, you're also doing your research, you're improving yourself every day. I don't see why you won't be confident when you actually land the job. And then again, while you're actually at work, they don't expect perfection, because as far as I'm concerned, we all learn every day. So the more you do the job, the more you learn. That's what I can say. The more you do the job every day, the more you learn. And that even builds up your confidence even more. It's as simple as that. And working professionally, there's nothing, the same thing you would do on this training is exactly what you'll be doing when you start working in real life. There's nothing different.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't have a tech background.
Okay.
All right. Let me now take it from there. I know it's scary, and don't get me wrong, it will be scary. But the question I want to put to you is, even forget that you've gone through our training or project or practicals. You just made up your CV, like say, okay, some people are like that. Let me just try my luck, Let me just made up my CV, read about these things and start applying for jobs. Because some people are good when it comes to interviews. They can blab their way. If you are now offered a 600 pounds role and you don't know jack about this Scrum Master role, you've only bamboozled your way in. And one way or the other, you've been able to convince them at the interview. They offered you the £600 role. The question is, are you going to start that job or you are going to decline that job? I'm quite sure you accept that offer. And while you accept that offer, while you're on that job, they say, oh, Bimbola, do this or do that. I'm sure you go, that is when you know that probably Google and YouTube, they are your best friends, because you don't want to lose that £600. That's the kind of motivation or the hungerness that I'm expecting. It's not going to be, yes, your first day at work might be scary, but we learn every day. That's one thing about IT. Learning never stops. Even those that have been doing the job for many years, you still need to keep learning, and as long, that is why you still have the support. I told you earlier on, you after the training, you belong or you join another group, an alumni group. Some of the people on the alumni group, they are working already, and some of them are still job hunting. So you have people that you can go to because you need people in your corner. There's no way, you need people, and that is why we say we support you. It's part of what it's part of the package. You get the support, you get the mentorship. So we don't just leave you high and dry. We don't say bye-bye to you just because you are done with us. Or probably 4 months after you called me and I said, you know what, your contract with me has ended. I can't sort you out. I don't know. We are not like that. We try as much as possible to build a family, because if you are helped today and I know you are now confident on the job, I can send someone to you tomorrow that please help this person out, help this person out. That is how life is. Because I know now you've been working on the job for the last 8 months, and I just have a newbie that just got a job. I can say, you know what, go to Bimbola, and please try to support this lady as well. You'll be willing to do that because someone else did that for you as well. That is the kind of relationship we try to build. So you are not alone. During the training and after the training, you still have us as your backbone to run to. So that is not a problem. And not coming from a technical background. Remember, I told you my journey as well. My background was accounting, nothing technical at all. All I knew was debit and credit, balance sheet, I don't even know anything about trial balance, until I transitioned to something completely different, something really, really technical that involves coding, you know and that is possible because of hard work, because of dedication, and because of the kind of support that I got as well when I was going through that journey. So you are not alone on the journey. Despite your background, you can make it happen as well. So is that all? Have we managed to answer that question, Bimbola?
Oh, yes, you did. Thank you.
You're welcome. Your Dotun, you raise your hand.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good
Let me
evening.
say that. Okay. You and just to had this you and the other team keep saying IT, moving into IT. Basically, I think Scrum is not just for if you want to transition into IT. I mean, you can use Scrum for every other industry. I think probably started with the IT industry, but that's just that. And my question is, how long did it take if I really want to sit for the exam after going through your training? How long you think I would be equipped enough to sit for the exam
Oh,
and also move on, basically?
all right. Although you are really low, I didn't get the last part. But let me clarify this. The training that you are getting from us is not to prepare you for the examination, for the certification. Not at all. Not at all. If you still want to sit for the professional exam, you still have to go and read their guides, because what the book tells you is completely different from how it is done in the workplace. And we are not teaching how to pass that certification, because passing that certification doesn't mean you get the job. Certification comes second in our book. What comes first is the practical knowledge and the exposure, knowing what you do. if you should get a job tomorrow. So we are not preparing you to pass a certification exam. Please don't get that wrong. We are equipping you so that when you get that job tomorrow, you know what to do. You know how to act as a Scrum Master or a product owner. Because the books, what the book says, it's different from how it is done in real life. So that is why we focus on what we believe is the most important in securing a job, because you can secure a job even without you having the professional certification. Having the professional certification is not a gateway for success, or is not a gateway for, oh, you know what, we recruit you, we employ you. No, you need to prove your worth to the employer. You need to prove that you know what you're saying, or you know what you're doing before you can get that job. And that is what we prepare you for, not to pass the certification. So to pass the certification, unfortunately, you still have to go back and read the guide, because what we do is completely different from what is in the guide. I hope I've been able to answer that question.
Yes, I understand. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Ayodotun. And again, to buttress your point, it's not only in IT, just that the project you'll be working on with us is an IT project. Probably that's why we lay more emphasis about IT, but that's not the only sector you can use it. All right. Please, if you have any other question, please kindly raise your hand and I will be calling you. But before that, I'm going through the chat. Okay, Ayodotun, you've asked a question. All right, cool. Jacob, based on your experience, can you share what your daily practical experience is, especially as a beginner? Jacob, are you on the call? Is that to Yemi, who is the facilitator, or is that to one of the speakers, one of the ex-students? Yemi, I think this is for you, right? Based on your experience, can you share what your daily practical experience is, especially as a beginner?
Well, I thought that has been answered.
Oh, really?
Or but anyways, just to add more points to that, let me go back to that question. So based on your experience, can you share what your daily practical experience has been? Well, for me, using myself as an example, when I transitioned, right, I had a huge imposter syndrome because I was expecting, it to be so chaotic, so scary, that maybe anything I've learned or whatever. Then it was weird because the first day it was just looking like I already know what to say, right? Don't forget the power of questions. If you don't know, just ask. No one will expect you to know everything they are doing currently, but be aware of how to do it. There's a difference between how and what. If you know how to do something, you don't necessarily know at the get-go what they are doing. With the experience of how to do things, you literally eventually know what they do in that organization. Let's say in an organization that they are into healthcare, maybe you're in an organization into, billing tickets, or maybe fintech, right? If you go there, you need to know what they do, but it's still the same how to sort it out. So you can have imposter syndrome. Just relax, put whatever you to practice, then you're good to go. So that's just it.
Yeah, thanks, Yemi. Thanks for that. I hope, Jacob, if you are still on the call, I hope that has answered your question. Please, does your training prepares one for Okay, this is for certification. Secondly, which one of this program gives you an opportunity to work remotely? All of them. Number one, the first question, I think I just answered that regarding certification. No, unfortunately, you still have to go and read the guide if you want to go and sit for any certification. We prepare you for a day in the life of a Scrum Master. That's what we prepare you for. Which one gives you an opportunity to work remotely? All of them. As you can see, Yemi is working remotely. Also, as a product owner, you can work remotely. As a business analyst, you can work remotely. That is why people are now rushing to IT jobs, because of these opportunities that it gives you or offers you to work remotely. So any of them, can give you access to work remotely. What happens, this is to Jacob, what happens if I miss a class? All our sessions are recorded. Every sessions, every training is recorded, and you have access to our LMS portal. That is our learning management system that you log in, you register. After your registration, you can log into your portal or your dashboard, and you have access to watch the recording from there as well. You can log in on your phone, you can log in on your desktop, it doesn't matter. But yes, if you miss any class, you can catch up on the recordings, which will be made available to you on your dashboard. So that is not a problem at all. That is to Jacob. Please, I'm still expecting more hands up. Please, if you have questions, don't be shy. Let's rub minds together. Ask anything you want to ask. And we try as much as possible to give you an answer to it. Again, the start date for this training will be on the 22nd. And as of today, actually, as of now, we only have 9 spots left because someone just enrolled now. We only have 9 spots left. So you can take advantage of the 20% discount. As I said, even after the 20% discount, it's not everything that is due at once. It's only half that is due. And the other half can be paid within 4 to 5 weeks, and you'll be shocked at the quality of the training that you are going to receive. One of our, the last cohort just finished their training last week. I could have invited one of them to come on, but they are waiting to start their project. They'll be starting their project on the 17th. I could have invited, probably I can still do that though. If one of them can still join, just to share, their experience about the practical training. They are still waiting to start the project, as I said, on the 17th of this month. They finished their training last weekend, just to share, their experience on the journey, how the training was, and probably if they are able to, if they were able to achieve anything or not, But let's see if I can still make that happen before we close for today. Tracy, you raise your hand.
Hi, so my question is, good evening.
Good evening.
Do you do just your 3-month courses, or can you like customize like training for someone who has like different needs? Because I'm not a beginner. I am a Scrum Master, but I got into the Scrum Master role through project management and PMO.
All right.
So I understand pretty much frameworks. I understand everything to do with project management. But because I've not been a Scrum Master before and I just took on a Scrum Master role, I was sort of looking for if you do like more customized training not for beginners. So maybe like a crash course or something, as opposed to like the 3-month course.
We currently don't do that. Although you can message me after this probably session today or tomorrow on the number on your screen, and probably I can figure out something. But at the moment we don't. But you can message me and then I'll think before that.
Sorry, should I message the WhatsApp number that I got the link on?
The WhatsApp number, the one ending with 2207.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, you can message me on that. Yeah.
I'll message you tomorrow then. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Tracy. All right. Let me go through the question. Charles, you raise your hand. I can't hear you, Charles. Hello, Charles, are you talking?
Yeah, I'm talking. Good evening.
Oh, good evening. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. I'm the one that I've been talking, and I have a lot of questions to ask. Though some of the questions have been answered somehow. I understand that you have said that this is only for lectures, only the certifications are not there. So, and over the time, I've been reading, studying. I can even tell you I've studied 90% of everything I had to do with Scrum Master. You read Agile, read everything, and I can even do trial and error on some projects. But because I don't have the time, and these 3 months you are putting is also too long for me, that is one. Now, I'm actually interested in the certification. So I don't know how it's going to be done. And I would have loved to have this talk outside this place, because there are some things I would not want to say. I'm actually interested in the certifications, and because currently my job role has made me to do a lot of things. I'm a salesman. Yeah, I'm a salesman, and I have handled a lot of projects, a lot of things on the field, in the office, and so I actually need that certifications. But for me to now pay the kind of figure that you are talking about and still go for certification of it, I'm not quite comfortable with it. So that's why I said I would have loved to talk outside this place. But notwithstanding this, I don't know how you're going to handle that to somebody like us. How it's going to be, because
you can message me on that number on your screen as well. That comes directly to me. But if I understand you well, at the beginning, I think I said, if you are looking for professional certification, the package, doesn't include that, because personally, I don't believe in professional certification, and that is based on my own experience. I have many professional certifications. None of them opened the door for me when I was searching, until I acquired the practical training, until I get the experience before I was able to break through. So the money you are paying does not include sitting for a professional certification. But because of popular demand about certification, it's something that I can just go to, is it logo designer, or what's the name of these people called, to do a good certificate for me so that I can present to my student at the end of the training, but it has no value. Instead of me doing that, I went ahead and said, you know what, I don't want to do that because that won't give them any value. That was the reason I went ahead and ensured that all our courses are CPD accredited. At least the certificate that you'll be getting from us is not useless to start with, but it is recognized in over 60 countries. I pasted the URL on the chat earlier on. You can do your research on them. It's recognized in the UK, in Nigeria, in Ghana, in the US, Australia, over 60 countries.
okay.
But that is based on what we provide. And just to ensure, just to let you know that what we deliver, our training module, everything meets the professional standard. And you are not just passing by any training organization and just going through. No, what you are getting from us, has been accredited by a body, a government body, to tell you that, yes, they know what they are talking about. And also the certificate is recognized. But when you are now talking about professional certificate, we don't do that, because personally, I do not believe in that. I believe your knowledge and experience will open doors for you, even before they ask you, do you have a certificate?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I'm glad that you said that your own certification, your own certificate is recognized. Fine, that is okay by me. Because why I'm just saying this is because when you look at one of the things that is happening everywhere now, is did you have the certificate? Have you gotten this? Have you gotten this? So the thing now makes somebody look because even when you are searching for some jobs, you go for some jobs, you have talked everything, you have explained yourself, you have told them I can do this, I can do that. The next thing they'll ask you, do you have the certificate? When you say don't have the certificate, they just people started pricing you low.
You know, I understand you.
So I've explained that because I have laid my hand on some certificate that may not even be together under US, under this thing and Cisco systems and everything, and I've done a lot of them. But when you come to that and you don't have this certification, they'll just say you have it. They start pricing you down. So that's why I'm trying to be careful. I don't want to go and enter into something that at the end of it, I would just be saying, oh, had I even know, had I know, I wouldn't have done this, and then to just be lying down there. That's why I'm asking my question. But
you know, it's good to do your due diligence, and that is why I'm pasting the link on the chat again. You can research about them, read more about them, go on their website. You know, we are there as well. You can search for us, you know, look at the advantages that you get out of it, you know. But again, you know, many of our students, even before they think about sitting for the professional certification, they've already gotten a job. Up till today, no employer has ever asked me to present any of my professional certification. You know, up till today, no employer, since I got my breakthrough, up till now, no employer has ever asked me to present my certification. You know, and meanwhile, when I add those certification, thinking it will open doors for me, nobody hired me, despite me having all this certification, professional certification. Oh, you don't have the experience. You don't have, sorry, you don't have the experience. Sorry, you don't have the experience. Sorry, you don't, unfortunate, you don't have, you know. That is why, you know, we focus on what I believe is more important, and, you know, and we'll get you the job. But again, if you have any other question you think you cannot share online, why not? You can message me. I will respond back to you on that number on your screen. If you still want me to clarify anything outside this session, I'll be more than happy to do so.
I will give you a call.
No problem. But it will be on WhatsApp though. That number you can only call on WhatsApp.
I understand. I'll give you a WhatsApp call.
No problem, Charles. No problem. Thanks for your question. Yeah, kindly share the CPD link again. I've shared it. This is to Jane. Yes, it's on the chat now. You can see it on the chat. That's Jane. I've shared the link again. Tokpe, I don't quite get this question. This belief is not widely acceptable. I don't get that. Do you want to unmute and ask your questions?
Well, thank you very much for the engagement so far. I'm also concerned about the professional certification part. I speak from my own experience here in Nigeria, so I feel that some employers would prefer to see the certification first. But of course, I see that you are offering something different. And of course, some of these maybe remote employers, their preference may be different. So I was just trying to get the commercials on this training. What's the total cost of this training for the 3 months engagement? And then what's the prospects of like getting like a remote offer after the done of the training?
All right, thanks. I'm sure most people coming on this journey, I think the end game is to be able to get like a remote job, get something that will make life more comfortable in terms of probably money, flexibility, and all of that. Right. So the jobs are out there. If the jobs are not out there, some people will not be taking 2 roles, 3 roles, you know. So the jobs are out there. It's like someone who wish he played the lottery, wishing, oh, I wish I played that lottery, I could have won, probably it means that I could have won that 30 million. Well, he never played the lottery. So there's no way he can ever win. Same thing applies to this transitioning journey as well. Until you put yourself in that position to compete, you'll never know. You'll be thinking, oh, it's impossible, it's not possible, it's impossible, it's not possible. But I can tell you, it is possible for you without the certification, just your knowledge and your experience to get a remote job outside your home country. It is very, very, there are sites that are dedicated for that purpose as well, that you can go to. They are looking for freelancer for 3 months, 4 months, just to complete a project for them or to lead a team, something like that. And you collect your money either in dollars and you are happy working for 4 months, but that 4 months is like you working for a year, the money that you collect. The local recruiters might have a different perspective, because I understand the mentality of certificate. But what is the advantage or what is the benefit of having that certificate, but you cannot defend it? You only have it on paper. You've only read to go and pass the certification, but the actual work you cannot do. What is the essence? And I'm sure some of the recruiters back home as well, they are starting to change their perspective, because things doesn't work that way. As long as you can prove you know what you're doing, you should be employable. And also, I'm sure many people doing this job, if you're still back home, I'm sure you are targeting, the people you are targeting will be a foreign recruiters as well that you are targeting. So that is not a problem. But from my own experience as well, I can tell you, knowledge and work experience goes a long way. So for the cost, I think you asked about the cost as well. The cost in Naira is actually 400,000. But there's 20% discount on it, so that will make it 360. And it is only half of that 360 that is required to start, and the other half can be paid within 4 to 5 weeks before you get on the project. Everything needs to be paid. So yeah, that is it. How much is the training? Yeah, I just said it. So in pounds is 499. In Naira is 500. It's 400,000 Naira. All right.
Yeah, Mr. Akin, can I also add something quickly?
Yeah, go on.
So this is Boale again. So as someone that went through what you guys are about to go through now, I mean, of course, having a certification, it gives you that confidence, which is good. And also, what you will learn here, it will help you in preparing for your exams if you actually do decide to take that certification after your training. But I also believe that before taking the exam, you will need to use the recommended learning materials in order to prepare yourself so you can have a better chance of actually passing the exam. So I think that's where the confusion is. Yes, the training will help you in terms of getting the job and also having enough knowledge to take on the exams. But when you're actually ready to take the exam, you will need to use a proper learning material to prepare yourself specifically for the exam. And that's where the confusion is coming here. I've been working now for like 2 years, and I can tell you, I haven't done my certification yet. And I've done at least 30 interviews, and not one of them requested to see my certification. So it is possible. That's just what I wanted to say.
Yeah, thanks, Wale. Thanks for that. Aku, the price is $4.99 before discount. After discount is $3.99. The certification is just a Nigerian thing. Yeah, I understand. And that was the reason why, at first as well, I was doing certification. I've got project management, business analyst, scrum master. I was doing all the certification thinking because of the mentality that that's what will open doors for me. But unfortunately, the reverse is the case. That's to be Mbola. John, I feel it depends on the country. Employer in Africa asks about certification. Yeah, again, I think we just answered this now. It depends on the motive of you coming on the training. If the motive is, I want to do this training, get the hands-on job experience, but I want to only apply in my local country, then probably you might need to go and do the certification exam if that is the order of the day in your country. Even despite you having experience, you still need to do the certification exam. If that is the order of the day, then maybe you need to go and do the certification exam, But generally, widely, I'm just talking that, practical experience in my book comes first before the certification exam. But again, each country might be different. So, but again, it depends on the motive. If your motive is to apply to foreign countries, then there's nothing to worry about because experience counts more than your paper certification that you are holding in foreign countries. But in your local country, I don't know. Probably certification counts more than the experience. Probably if you don't have the experience and you have the certification, probably you are still going to be recruited. I don't know, but I doubt it. So yeah. But I can only tell you what we offer, and you need to weigh it whether it's something that is valuable to you or something that you think is not going to be valuable to you at the end of the day. I always try to be plain and be straightforward. I don't have to deceive you because I want to get you enrolled. No, do your due diligence. At the end of the day, knows that, okay, yes, I want to go with these people because I want to gain so and so from them. That is it. And we've highlighted everything that we offer. So yeah, that's to John. So do you have any company connection in Uganda? No, we don't have. We work remotely, but it doesn't matter it doesn't matter your location. You can still be trained by us. So that's to Jane. All right. There's still room for a few more questions. Please, you can raise your hand if you still want me to clarify anything. Tracy, I can vouch for that. I'm a Scrum Master. This is from Tracy. I can vouch for that. I am a Scrum Master and wasn't asked for certification. It is the experience and how you can explain to them how you will add value to them that can't. That is it. But again, it depends on the country again, as people on the call have said. Probably that differs from country to country, but I'll still say by beating my chest that the experience always comes first. Sorry if I don't pronounce this right. Ime or Ime. Ime, please unmute and ask your question.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening.
We've gotten various ideas to this Scrum thing, but I want to ask, the takeaway, knowing the know-how, because before you know the know-how, you have to have the knowledge. I mean, someone has to brief you on what's expected. But one scenario, some people are saying you don't need to have certification. Some people are saying they've not been asked for the certification. Some people say they've not been even presented. So when you're applying for the job, do you have to put something that you know how to use Scrum, or you know how to use the Scrum app or something? Because just like you said, Nigerian factors say, okay, we need certificate in Nigeria. Maybe in the UK, some other person is saying, or he's done some projects or done some contract jobs and he didn't even have the certificate. So what is the take home? Because are we doing this thing to have is it basically we're doing this to have the practical experience from your own end? Because you're also saying, well, if you want to take exam, you can take exam. If you don't take exam, it's up to you.
The take home, no. I only responded to that based on the what's the English for that now? The take home is, this is not the first time we are running this, and I don't know whether he's still online. Teju, I don't think he's online again. He's one of my ex-students as well, one of our ex-students as well. We have students all over. We have students from Ghana, from Nigeria, from Zimbabwe, from South Africa, from Canada, from Ukraine, all over we have students. Based on our own experience and with our students. Take, for example, Teju that spoke tonight. Up till now, he has not written that certification exam, but is not currently working for a Nigerian company, despite the fact that he lives in Nigeria. I think at the end of the day, we all want to earn more money. That is the aim of this thing. You want to, you want a better tomorrow. You want the flexibility. And that you can get from probably foreign remote jobs. And I'm sure it is not all employers, even locally, that has got the same perspective about this certification. Because I can tell you, this is not the first time I'm doing this or I've been working in a Scrum team. What the books tells you, that mentality needs to be changed. It's different from how it is done. So based on our previous experience with our students, some of them after, getting the job, yes, they still want to add the feather to their whatever. Yeah, probably they went ahead and, register just to have it. But most of them, they didn't do any certification before they get their first job. We are all different from each other.
Okay,
so,
okay, sorry. So if we don't do certification, that means I need to doctor my, sorry, we need to doctor our CVs to sell that we are Scrum capable or Scrum Master capable. That's what you're saying, right? After this training.
This session is being recorded, right?
Yeah.
You can message me on the number on your screen, but what I can tell you that there's nothing impossible to achieve if you set your mind to it. That is all I can tell you. But if you want more personalized answer to your question, you can message me on that number or call me on WhatsApp on that number, and I'll answer that question for you.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right. Talk by how is Scrum Master certification. I have not been able to land a job yet. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but it's like some people have got a different opinion. It's not about certification, but I don't want to press too much, not to think that probably I'm trying to sell my market. This has to be a personal decision, whether to enroll or not to enroll, But I know from my own experience and from my students that you don't need the certification to secure a job. You need the practical knowledge, hands-on job experience. That is it. Thanks, Tokwe, for that. What practical experience are we getting from this training? You'll be working on a project. As I said, you'll be working on a live project. Despite the fact that the training itself, the 4 weeks training is practical, that will expose you to tools that Yemi has talked about, which is Jira, Confluence, Miro, and all of that. After the practical training, even from the practical training, you are being grouped to tackle few issues and challenges here and there. But after the 4 weeks, then you'll be put on a live project where it's a project, a live project, as I said, where you are now going to act as a Scrum Master, also as a product owner. So you'll be interchanging because you'll be working in a sprint. You'll be working in sprint. So this first sprint, you might act, depending on your team, you might act as a Scrum Master. Then the next sprint, you might act as a product owner. And the next sprint after that, you might act as a BA, because I want you to be exposed to everything. So that by the time you start applying for jobs, you are not a one-way traffic. You don't only know Scrum. You know more than Scrum. You know more than Scrum Master. You know, you can act as a product owner. You can as well act as a BA. That is what that is what you are getting out of the training. That is to Jacob. I hope that has answered your question, Jacob. Hello. Can you explain more on the difference between? All right. Yemi, if you want to take this is from Olayinka. Kindly explain the difference between the Scrum Master and business analyst. Hello, Yemi, are you there?
Oh, sorry. I was speaking, but
on mute, yeah.
Yes. Just as someone asked earlier, difference between product owner and the product manager. It's different. It's dependent on the environment you find yourself, right? From the word business analyst, by standard, you're looking at how an organization, the team, can all align to meet business need, customer needs, market needs, right? You're focusing on the needs, progress, and success of the project, right? Now, some organization will make a business analyst do some things that a product owner can do, like the documentation, even writing user stories, acceptance criteria, right? You said between a business analyst and a scrum master, right? Is that the question?
Yeah, difference between Scrum Master and business analysis.
Okay, yeah. So like I said, on the business analyst based, for the Scrum Master, now you're looking at also the progress of work. You're looking at the Scrum framework itself that is needed for product development, building complex problem. You're working with the product owner, the organization, and the development team. You are going to be facilitating the Scrum events like the sprint planning, the daily Scrum, the sprint review, sprint retrospective. So they are core function of a Scrum Master, okay? While the business analyst will work more in collaboration with the business, with the product team, and sometimes with the tech team in terms of documentation or working the similar role of a product owner, like I said, which is dependent in the organization that you're in, but the difference is different, is separate. Do you get that?
Yeah, thanks, Yemi, for that. Jacob, you say you are not seeing the number. The number should be showing on your screen, but if not, I'm sending you, check your chat. I'm sending you that number. That's the number. That's to Jacob. But the number should be showing on the screen as well. I'm sure I'm sharing my screen. The number should be on the, but if not, I just sent the number on the chat now to reach out. If you want to reach out to me or ask me any question after this, I just sent out the number to everyone. Am I right? Is that to everyone? 1 second. All right, I think I've sent it to everyone. That's the number, but it's on the screen as well. Let me see if account to be credited, please. This is Dell. You can use this account or you can message me to send that to you as well. Dell 6440. I don't know whether you are still online. You can take a screenshot of this one, of the account details, or you can message me on the number I just sent on the chat. and I will forward the account details to you. Tokwe, can you drop the number on the chat? I just did. I just dropped the number on the chat. I believe everyone can see the number on the chat now. All right, I think I've gone through all the questions. Any final question from anyone? Any final question from anyone before we call it a night? Almost 2 hours now. If you have any final question you want to ask, please, you can ask it now. Again, the training starting on the 22nd of this month. As of now, we have 8 slots left. As of now, so you can still take advantage of the 20% discount, and also, you know, you can split the payment half to start and the other half due within 4 to 5 weeks. Tijani, sorry, I joined late. Can you clarify if the 3 months for 3 covers Scrum? Yeah, that is correct. Yes, Tijani, yes. And if you want the recording as well, the recording will be made available on the group chat and also on our YouTube channel. If you want to go on our YouTube channel, just type Learn with Pride. This recording will be made available by tomorrow. And Tijani, the answer to your question is yes. That's correct. So again, the training will be starting on the 22nd of this month. The journey starts on the 22nd of this month. And, you know, when you enroll, you know what I'm talking about. I'm sure compared to others you've seen out there, we are cheap, but being cheap doesn't mean our quality is cheap. We are cheap because we want most people to be able to afford it. And that is why we're even doing, you know, instrumental payment and all of that. And you can only testify as I'm really pained that I didn't invite any of those that finished their training last weekend, just to come and share their experience about the journey. Again, they'll be starting their project on the 17th, but at least the 4 weeks that they've done, how was it, you know? That could have been very, very fantastic, but that skipped my mind. Jacob, I had 2 people on the call today as regard the testimonies. If you want to see more testimonies, you can go on our YouTube, you can go on our Instagram page at Learn with Pride, you know. Again, you know, if you are the type that wants to see results, also you can go on our Trustpilot. Go on Trustpilot and type Learn with Pride. You'll see the reviews and all of that there. But again, you know, if your conscience says go with us, then go. But if your conscience says, you know, no, then follow your conscience. But you can never regret your decision, you know, if you come on board. That's what I'm going to tell you. But if you want more testimonies, I can, because of the time we have, I can ask all the people who have secured a job to come on live. But if you want to see, I think every Thursday we try as much as possible to post success story on our Instagram page. So you can go on our Instagram page and see success stories on our Instagram page if you still want to see more. But yes, thanks everyone for your time. If you have any questions, if you want to enroll, just message me on the number on your screen or the one that I drop in the chat. I'll be more than happy to see you on the journey. It's going to be a money well spent. It's going to be a very good investment, you know, that if you look back in a few months' time, you say, you know what, I'm glad I made that decision. So thanks everyone for your time. Hopefully I'm going to see some of you on the journey. But for others, hopefully in the future, you can change your mind as well. Thanks everyone for your time. Have a lovely evening. For the recording, it will be made available on YouTube and on the WhatsApp. Thanks. Have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye.